Hi, it's David. I wanted to say a word on Mormon missionary work. Now, this is not excluding other religions. There are other religions. What comes to mind is Jehovah's Witness that solicit your membership in their church. Generally, I think this is for validation. They think they're in a cult, but if other people join it, it must not be a cult. I wanted to talk about the principle that I laugh about a lot. If the newspaper reported just once there was a money tree in the middle of Missouri, and anyone that could go to the money tree could pick the money off of it and spend it, how many doors would you have to knock on to get people to go to the money tree? None. None. It's something that's valuable to most people and something desirable to most people, and they don't have to be converted to the money tree. They don't care what color it is as long as it's green, the money. This is the principle that I cannot understand why the Mormons can't understand this principle. If their religion was so great, why do they have to knock on doors and tell people about it? Wouldn't people be just flooding into the stake centers and getting baptized and running up to the temple to be sealed for time and all eternity? The answer is yes. If it was that great, if Mormon people were such exemplary people in the neighborhood, wouldn't the neighbors come over and go, geez, you know, you really got it made. What is it? And the guy says, well, it's the Mormon church. You'll say, well, can you send the missionaries over to my place? But when half the missionaries and half the Mormon church and half of the leadership of the Mormon church are in a Ponzi scheme on a regular basis, and their history of molesting 14-year-old girls and calling them wives and killing people at Mountain Meadows, and God, it just goes on, people go, I'm not interested. Hi, we're from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, and we have a message for you. Take your message where the sun don't shine. The principle of human beings discovering, you know, when they discovered the Titanic, there was a lot of people that went there and dived and brought up kind of things. When they discover Atlantis and other places, people run in there. You don't have to knock on the doors of scuba divers to say, hey, come and take a look at the Titanic. We own it. This amazes me. It just amazes me that these churches that are cults will do anything to gain new members. I remember when the, I think it was Hare Krishna, that were allowed at the Los Angeles International Airport, and you came in, and most of us are stupid, and here you have these young boys and girls dressed in these white robes, look like they just get out of a Mormon temple, and they hand you a flower, and you say, hey, this must be my day, a free flower, it's cool. And as soon as you took the flower, they say, could we get a small donation? And I go, hell no, here's your flower back. I ain't donating to a cult. Well, that's what I finally did to the Mormon church. Aren't you going to pay your tithing? No, I ain't donating to a cult. To me, when human beings hear about something desirable, they flock. They flock. It's like everything in the animal kingdom. If somebody kills a horse or a zebra, all the animals flock to get something to eat. It's something that they want. I can't understand why the Mormons have to try to convince you that your religion is wrong, you're of the devil, you belong to the great and abominable church, and they need you and your money so they know that they're not in a cult. They need validation. Well, I predict as Romney gets closer to the election, the shenanigans are going to come out. And most of the American people are just going to shake their heads and go, I didn't know that about the Mormons. And when they hear this shit that the Mormons have kept hidden because there was no internet, they did an excellent job hiding their policies, their procedures, and their rituals, and their history. Now even Mormons go online, not at the same rate as normal people do. And it was used to be said that the internet lies about the Mormon Church. Well, you know, when you hit Google and it comes up with 100 million negative things about the Mormon Church, have all of those people conspired? No. All those people have facts and information. So the internet, I've always said, I said this 2 years ago, I said the internet is the kiss of death to the Mormon Church. They cannot hide their history. They cannot hide their doctrines and their craziness in the temple and slitting people's throats and cutting you open if you divulge. Health in the navel, marrow in the bones, strength in the loins and in the sinews, power in the priesthood, be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. No lightning. Nothing happens to me. If the Mormon Church was so good, people would flock to it. It's not that good. When people check it out, they find out that they're arbitrary, capricious, mean, cruel, and your money is the #1 thing. You pay that tithing, you can't go to the temple and get sealed. You have to pay for those blessings. I guess in some ways it's a little like the Catholics. They have to light a candle. To me, that's cheaper. I'd rather be a Catholic. I would flock there quicker than I would flock to a cult. So anyway, if it was a good thing, you don't have to sell it. You know, when a beautiful girl walks in the room, you don't have to go around and knock on all of the guys' head and go, hey, that's beautiful. The guys figure that out automatically, and they all go over there and try to hit on her, and they want to be around that. Same way with good jobs, same way with a wonderful education. Harvard doesn't have problems getting, I have a nephew in Harvard. They don't have a problem getting student body. Duke, I have a son-in-law who hates me, but he graduated from Duke. So if it's a good thing, people find it. They flock to it. If it's crap, they hide behind the door and they don't answer it. I put a sign out on my door that said, no solicitation, Mormons or Jehovah's Witness. 3 days later, it was torn down. 3 days later, it was torn down. Welcome to Utah. They're going to pound on your door, and if you're not with them, you're against them. If you're not their friend, you are the enemy. And they will destroy your life. They'll destroy your life. So if it's a good thing, go after it. If it's crap and a cult, people hide behind their doors and go, we're not interested. I've shut the door on the Jehovah's Witness and the Mormons more times than I can tell you. As soon as I open the door and I see 2 of them there with a smile on their face, I know life ain't happy. They're faking that smile.